Hey guys, welcome back. If it's your first time on the channel, my name is Ryan. I'm a full-time reseller on sites like eBay and Poshmark, and I figured I'd just make a little video. I'm waiting outside of Salvation Army at the moment. I haven't been thrifting really in 2 weeks, and I feel like it's kind of got to me a little bit. Uh, I skipped last week making videos, just kind of getting everything ready for the warehouse, and I will say, like, I did make kind of an update video, but I will say it's been a roller coaster of emotions. I should be excited, but also I'm still kind of like nervous and scared. Like, yeah, it's not really that much, but kind of sales have slowed down just a little bit. Like, yesterday I sold 14 items, but it was only for like 200 and something dollars. There's a lot of lower end items, and it's gonna happen. I'm just gonna be honest. It's gonna happen, but it still kind of affects my mood, and I need to learn to get out of it. And this video is just kind of a vlog of me being me. It's nothing glamorous, but if you want to kind of just see how it is being a business owner, and I'm still kind of even on the fence. I know reselling is a business, especially towards the tax, but I still kind of feel like if you're not really able to take off for an extended period of time and it can't run without you, it's kind of like, and that's what I'm really trying to work on eventually, is I need to want to build this. If it really is going to be a business, it needs to grow into something that can kind of be on its own. Like, so if I do go out of town, because I do go out of town a lot, it needs to basically be on its own. And I'm building this from really nothing. So it's a dream and a drive to build this. So kind of my long-term goals is eventually, I've always wanted to open a thrift store of my own. I know that kind of might sound cliche of everybody. I think that's what a lot of people kind of want to do possibly in the future is, but I do. I would love to open a thrift store of my own for my own cause kind of thing. So, but like I said, it's just been kind of a roller coaster of emotion. I should be like really ecstatic, which, don't get me wrong, I'm really excited and everything still, that like I have a warehouse to keep all my stuff. It's awesome. I did set up a new photo station, and I took pictures yesterday, and I did not like how they turned out. I tried for the longest time I had like a table and then just a wall with the hanger and 2 photo lights, big photo lights, and it's worked really well for me for over a year. And I got these like LED lights. I got 6 of them, and it was kind of recommended from Cougar's Corner, and they crush it every day. They do like $1,000 in sales every day, and I'm like, I really want to get to that point. It's a husband and wife team, and I really want to get to that point of kind of running those kind of numbers. But I do know it is a process. They have like 11,000 items, and I have 3,000, so it is a process. And I'm not going out to just buy stuff to buy stuff. Like, I want my stuff to sell fast. Honestly, even if I just stay at a 3,000 item store but still bringing in those kind of numbers, I'm happy. I think that they were doing 50 items a day. They're doing 60 now. I went from 20 to 30, and not gonna lie, that's a lot. And I'm trying to figure out their process of how they can do all this stuff and source, because they're not really in a big populated area either, I don't think. I know they're in Missouri, so they're just kind of in the northeast state of me, but I'm just trying to figure out how I can get to that point. I think it's good to kind of like find a target area that you want to shoot for. Like, you don't want to go too high, but you don't want to go too low. Like, every step of the way, I've like tried to look at another reseller and try to focus, like, how can I get there? I think early on I really focused like on Harry Tornado and Rally Roots, and they sell stuff, don't get me wrong, they sell a lot, they do great, but they also are content creators. They're a lot more entertaining than me. They seem like really cool people. Everyone has their own opinions about them, but I focused on like what they were selling. But they were able to sell things for a lot less and more of because of their following. I know Rally Roots, they did the vintage shirts during 2020, the pandemic area, and that just blew up everywhere. Got all the t-shirt bros and everything. I think that really boomed when COVID happened. Yeah, someone's honking. So I kind of looked at different people, and I really focused, I think after those two, I looked more towards Surf's Up Finds and K-Way Shop. And K-Way, he's doing great. He's doing live selling now. So is Surf's Up Find. He's doing great. But I will say, like, looking at their numbers now, their eBay numbers, I probably feel like I've passed Surf's Up Finds, and he's happy with what he's doing. And great channel. I mean, that I learned so much from him. I think what is it, Chris at Peak, he's done really well. They're great. And what's another one? There's just so many great other resellers out there. Sorry if there's so much traffic noise today, but there's so many other great resellers out there, and they do really good. And I try to watch them and see like where do I want to be at. And I think probably one of the most popular ones on like Facebook is Milky Finds. He does great. I do a lot of what he does, but kind of like running his numbers, me and him are probably about the same, honestly, which is nothing wrong. And he also gets, he's monetized and all that with a lot of followers, but so he obviously probably makes more. But he lives in Washington and I live in Oklahoma, so a lot of my costs are a lot cheaper. I mean, take an example as my warehouse, all the bills included, it's probably going to run me about $1,000 a month. I've seen people in New York that $1,000 barely gets them a studio apartment. So my whole point is there's different stages, and I think right now who I'm mimicking the most, or trying to mimic the most, is Cougar's Corner and who else? And the Resell Brothers. Honestly, I think the Resell Brothers, they do a really good job too. Kind of that mid-tier items with occasionally those higher tier items. David Paleo, I know everyone's got their mixed feelings about David Paleo. He does really well. He's built a team, and that's one thing also I want to do. So I'm kind of trying to mimic a little bit of his style as well. A lot of people might say like, oh, don't do that of any of their styles. You got to be true to yourself. But I think it's good to kind of like see what other people are doing and take what you think works best for you, try it out, and then implement it in your own business. So those are the three I think I'm really trying to focus on, and they're all sellers that do pretty much $1,000 a day. So Cougar's Corner, Resell Brothers, and David Paleo. I can't remember, it's like not Sky Zone Apparel, it's something like that, but they all do really well. I know David Paleo is the only one that actually has like a team, whereas the Resell Brothers are just their brothers and their mom helps out here and there. But they just started getting raw donations, which is cool. So I'm gonna try to maybe go around my area, see if I can possibly look at some raw donations. Obviously, I'm not gonna pay that much on raw donations because I'm not gonna list junk. But I also thought, like, if I got raw donations, I can pick out what I want, what not the rest, and then just either donate to another thrift store or something with the rest, or even try to run it again later on. I don't know. These are just ideas, but I'm trying to maximize the most I can, and I think that's what you got to do in business. But there's also that you don't want to touch stuff multiple times. So I'm really trying to decide the direction I want to go in, and there's so many different possibilities. Right now, I'm still doing good. You know, it's about anywhere from $200 to $500 a day. Some days I do reach that 700-800, which is nice, but those are usually just like random Wednesdays or even a weekend day. So, but I just kind of wanted to make a video of me rambling. I have just kind of, like I said, been on a roller coaster of emotion of how I want things all to take place right now. Kind of nervous of, I guess, a lot of the costs that I've spent getting this ready has made me a little bit nervous, which I guess is kind of expected. So all of my bills are paid and everything, and then also I didn't pay my taxes at all last year, so pay your quarterly taxes. That's a whole nother thing. So yeah, it has me a little bit stressed too, because now I know I owe a couple of thousand, so I got to get that taken care of, which we've submitted. So once they reach out to me to see if if they approved my request for how my minimum payment, then I got to pay that minimum payment and all that. So there's a lot of just stress and everything. My part-time employee, I can't remember if I mentioned this in my last video, but he was going any day he possibly could to the Goodwill bins, but I dropped him down from 4 or 5 days to 3 days, and that's just because he's still learning, and me driving all the way to Goodwill bins, which is across town. How I told him is, I have to prep myself in advance to leave, so there's roughly 30 minutes. Then I have to drive all the way downtown, pick you up, or not pick you up, go there, go through all the stuff, and most of the time, 3/4 of the stuff I have to put back, and some of it he can go through on his own, and he tries. He's just not to that level yet. He's only been doing this a little over a month. And then once we go through that, we'll have to go pay. Then I take him home because he's been riding a bicycle. He just texted me today, he blew a tire on his bicycle. So he rides his bike to the Goodwill outlet, and then I pick him up and take him home. I don't know. I wish he had a car, I'm trying to help him as much as possible to get to that point. But I also got to worry about me and the business as well. So I dropped him down to 3 days because it just wasn't making sense to go all the way across town. So once I take him home, then I have to drive all the way back, try to get back in the mode to take pictures or listings or whatever. So roughly I'm wasting anywhere from 2 to 3 hours a day. And I told him, like, just at the maximum, look at that, that's like 15 hours if you go all 5 days. And 15 hours, I could be doing a lot with 15 hours. So I bumped him back just because our Goodwill outlet just isn't up to par with a lot. I have found some stuff here and there, but I originally wanted to hire him just as a picture taker. But him not having a car and me living across town from him, it's just really hard. That's why I put him at the outlet, just because he could ride his bike and I can go there. But maybe I just wasn't thinking. Maybe I'm just kind of jumping the gun just too much with everything. So I don't know, we're still testing everything out right now. I don't know what the future holds. If you made it this far in the video, please give it a like, please comment below if maybe there's some things in your business maybe you're kind of worried about, or maybe that you're growing. Like, I feel like I should be excited for all this growth, but there's just so much on my mind, and I want everything to go right and be perfect, which I know life isn't perfect, and that's just kind of what it is. This is just a video of me being me. So I appreciate it if you made it this far. Please subscribe if you want to catch more content like this. You know, this is not burnout. This is just because I still love what I do. I really do. It's just a stress of everything at once. So the moment I think in the last 30 days I filed the LLC, got the warehouse, had to deal with the taxes, hired an I guess that was outside of the 30 days, but you know, got an employee, figuring out how to pay him, And I've still got to figure out like if I'm going to make a 1099 or a W-2 employee, and which I'm leaning towards the 1099, so I pay him everything, but I don't think he could really figure out how to do his taxes. Then he's gonna not know what to do. So but I know that's not really my problem. I'm just kind of venting all these like stresses right now. Yeah, but we'll see you next time. I know this kind of video might it might be cringe, I don't know. It's just I just got a lot on my mind right now, so I'm gonna try to relax for a little bit and go in here and see if I can find anything in this thrift store. We'll see you next time. Bye.